show do not reflect the views and opinions of our advertisers and management of Pacific Telestations Incorporated. You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Got me running around sweating today. Got my training shirt on, training in progress, because I'm getting ready for the 2014 International Marathon. And here this evening, we have the race director, Ben Ferguson, and also Guam's Olympian, Derek Mendel. Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good evening. We're great. Thank you.
Hey, thanks. I mean, really, I'm not training for the marathon, right? But
we can get you in.
You're gonna be in.
Yeah,
there you go. Maybe for the a 1K.
Yeah,
something like
okay.
that. Okay. Anyway, tell us about this. Is the second annual, Ben. Second annual. Obviously, the first one was very successful. That's why you're having the second annual.
Indeed, yeah. The first Guam International Marathon that we held last year, the inaugural Guam International Marathon, was what we thought to be a tremendous success. We ended up having around 2,200 runners participate in the event, relatively evenly split between the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, and the marathon. But what was great about it was that we were able to bring back a marathon to Guam, an international marathon. The Guam Running Club has had a marathon for many years, a great marathon. But this is a marathon geared towards not only our resident runners, but our runners from overseas as well. So tremendous success in year one, and then we're looking forward to doing even bigger and better things this coming April 13th.
Now, let me ask you this, because I'm asking this out of ignorance of the running events and things like that, and we can get into this with Derek, of course. Now, this marathon, I mean, I know there are some qualifying runs, you know, for runs later on, marathons or half marathons, all that, and maybe leading up to Olympic events or something equivalent to that. Is this a qualifier to some, again, who are trying to qualify for other events?
Well, this event is certified by the IAAF and AIMS. Those are the organizations that certify courses so that you can guarantee that the length of the courses is a legitimate marathon course. So this event is certified by those organizations, which means that anyone that runs a particular time on this event can use that time to qualify for an event, say like the Boston Marathon.
Oh, okay.
The Boston Marathon is, for most runners, most marathon runners, is viewed as the penultimate running event that you can participate in. It's one of the few marathon events where you actually have to have a qualifying time.
Okay.
And so if you run, for example, Derek last year ran a 2:56, I believe, which would have qualified him to run in the Boston Marathon. And I believe that qualification lasts for a couple of years. So that's an important distinction for us, because a lot of runners here locally, they do desire to run the Boston Marathon, and so any time that they record here that qualifies them, and it's done based on age group. So if you're a 45-year-old or a 55-year-old, you don't have to run a 2:56. It goes up in time.
So marathons work that way. I mean, some marathons, like the Boston Marathon, of course, it's the elite level. I guess that is right. So you have to, in order to participate in the Boston Marathon, you've had to qualify to participate in the marathon.
That is correct.
Okay.
You have to have met a qualifying time based on your age group.
Okay, and obviously that goes to the more elite running events and stuff. I mean, we're not at this point with the Guam International Marathon at this point.
No,
right?
You know, in North
event as well, right?
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, I think what we're trying to achieve with the Guam International Marathon, first and foremost, is to bring a premier event for the island of Guam and our residents. Secondly, we want to create an event that brings visitors to the island to participate in the event. So it's a sports tourism piece. So those are really our first and foremost objectives. We don't intend on becoming a prestigious marathon like the Boston Marathon, but more of a destination marathon, similar to maybe the Honolulu Marathon, but not of that magnitude.
There we go. Derek, again, congratulations for over the years to your accomplishment. You're an Olympian.
Yes.
You're an Olympian. And, how many Olympics have you been involved in?
Two, 2008 and 2012.
Okay. This next one coming up in a couple of years, you gonna be there again?
We'll see. See what kind of shape
you're
I'm
looking
in.
lean and mean. You know, I mean, you're ready for this next weekend's event. So you got to be ready, getting ready for 2 years from now.
Yeah, well, you got to look fast, at least. If you don't run fast, at least you...
There we go. Let me ask you, to get a athlete's perspective of this. You're obviously getting ready for the marathon, and you're doing the full marathon. Are you not? Okay. How many miles is that?
26.2 miles and
42.195 kilometers.
You know, even driving that, you know, my back hurts. Even my motorcycle or my car driving that, it takes a long time. I mean, imagine the running. I can't even imagine that. But anyway, the training that is involved in this, and we were talking before you came on the set. I mean, if I was a runner, if I was a 5K runner and a champion 5K runner, okay, does that mean that that may propel me, maybe get me ready for a marathon as well? But does that mean because on a shorter distance run, right? I mean, you're giving it all, man. You're putting the pedal to the metal, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, you strategize in the sense you don't necessarily put your pedal to the metal when you go out. You know when to start, you know, accelerating and doing that. So it's a gradual acceleration, is it not?
Yeah, well, because it's such a long race and distance and time, you have just a lot of time to think and a lot of time to get slower.
Yeah.
If you go out too fast, you may end up paying for it in the second half. And, you know, I felt like that was my experience last year, and I went out a little too fast for what I was capable of. You know, I ended up paying for it on the second half, but you know, every marathon's a learning experience, and this would be my second one. So
second one. Now, you know, we've always heard the term hitting the wall. Have you ever hit the wall?
Oh, I hit it hard.
You hit it?
Yeah, I think I still got a scar somewhere.
That wall, literally, you hit a wall.
Yeah, but yeah, the wall is real. Everyone talks about it, and you do actually feel it. And there's no way to describe it unless you go and run 26 miles.
Now let me ask you, do you know, I mean, do you have to experience it first to know when it's going to hit? I mean, do you feel it coming on? I mean, does it come at different times? Can you hit it early on, or can you hit it middle or towards the end? After you've done that, can you get through that hump?
I'm sure you can get through it. Hopefully I get through it this next 2 weeks from now. But yeah, everyone says it comes around the 18 to 20 mile mark of the marathon.
Yeah.
Scientifically, they say that that's when your body uses up all its energy sources, and then it's forced to burn into your muscle.
Well, how fast? Let me ask you, because we have a lot of these energy foods and these quick things, these quick release stuff that people are consuming throughout the race, and they're even, you know, kind of look like toothpaste or taking them down. How fast acting are these things? Because, you know, in regards to what you're eating and your training regimen, I mean, you don't train up to the day of the marathon. You're not. We won't see you the day before the marathon running a full marathon as well, right?
No.
Yeah. So again, how do you prepare it, and what happens in these quick release type foods that you're going to take? How effective are these things throughout the course of the run?
Well, I think they're effective. I personally haven't used them, but I know that other people have used them and have, you know, really experienced the effects of it. But I know that from their experiences, they say that if you take it when you really need it, then it's too late.
Really?
So you gotta take it before then, and then by the time you feel like you're gonna need it, that's when it's gonna release. And
so can we expect, if we see you in the starting line, can we expect to see you finishing with the same pair of shoes at the finish line?
Of course.
Really? Okay, really?
Yeah.
I tell you what, we're going to talk more about this, about the athlete's point of view as well as the race director's point of view after we pay some bills. We'll be right back.